Hey guys, sorry I'm not with you to finish the book today, but we just have some really important work we need to do writing final exams. As you can see, if you look at your slides, the lesson includes lots of different things that you need to do and accomplish. The first one, I want you to watch, obviously, this video clip with the Chebe. And as you watch, I really want you to think through these questions. He is delightful and interesting and thoughtful. And I just really love thinking about how his own story plays out in the story that he constructed of Okonkwo and of Umuofia. So hopefully you enjoy his interview. It's about 8 minutes long, give or take. So try to be mindful and watch it earnestly and use these questions to guide you as you go. And then these are just discussion questions. Not that I need you necessarily talking, but more than anything, I wanted to make sure they mimic the questions that are on Canvas, but that you feel comfortable with answering these questions. And then this, guys, last year when I taught the book in the spring, I recorded this lesson about the resolution or sort of lack thereof in the book. And I rewatched it just now and thought it was pretty super solid, actually. So I didn't want to re-record all of that for you. So it's about 10 or 12 minutes, but watch it. And as you go, I would recommend that you have your book with you. And because I reference lots of different things that I want you to mark in these latter chapters of the book, this final resolution part. So feel free to pause as you go, watch a little more, stop, mark some things, watch a little more, stop, mark some things, etc., so that you can track what you're doing, and especially in preparation for your exam. And then finally, and why I really wanted to record this video is because this is a quick discussion board that you have on Canvas. I want you, you can just follow the directions, but these were the essential questions for TFA that we started with. So you're going to respond to those on a discussion board. So make sure you do that for me. And then Freytag's pyramid, I talk about this a little bit in the one video. The classical archetype of the tragic hero. Obviously, Okonkwo is a tragic hero, and you can think about his hamartia, his hubris, his peripetia, his agnoresis, and all of these different things now that you've finished the novel. And then this is really the heart of why I wanted to record this video. Essay preview. So let me talk you through your essay just a little bit. And I'm just going to walk you through the slides. I think you'll find your essay to be interesting, and hopefully you'll enjoy that you have a little bit of choice. Okay. So you're going to write several well-developed paragraphs, and you're going to include embedded and cited quotes from the novel. And you're going to respond to at least to one of these prompts. And then there's a scoring guide also available on the prompt on Canvas so that you can see how you're going to be graded. So I'm cool. You can do any of the three. It doesn't matter to me. They are equally weighted. So the first one, I think, is the one that's probably the most obvious to enter into. And I feel like we've done the most background work with, which is, how is Okonkwo a tragic hero? You must explain how he is characterized, his flaws, his missteps, his shortcomings. And I want you to use specific episodes and quotes from the text to support your thinking for that one. So obviously you can talk about his intentional acts of violence, his accidental acts of violence, his exile, his tragic flaws, whatever you think would be helpful to answer and respond to that question. Prompt number 2. Achebe explained that one of his purposes in TFA was to present a complex, dynamic society to a Western audience who perceived African society as primitive, simple, and backward. So what a powerful and loaded quote, right? But when you watch his video, certainly his purpose is to sort of show dynamic and thriving and developed tribal culture in direct contrast to what was happening by European writers at the time, right? So use examples from the novel to support that. Do you think Achebe accomplishes this purpose? And you could probably argue against it. I don't know. That's up to you. But obviously you would use the book and then examples from the book to support or to develop that prompt. Okay. And then finally, prompt number 3, I think this one's really interesting. Noye knew that it was right to be masculine and to be violent, but somehow he still preferred the stories his mother used to tell. How does Achebe explore masculinity and things fall apart and include examples and evidence from all parts of the novel? I think there are lots of examples you could dip into with this one. Obierka is a really interesting character that you could use. I think the couple, when the man passes away and his wife goes and lies down and dies like right after him, and sort of the the honesty with which that occurs and that experience and how it's seen. There are lots of different stories that you can use. The idea that crimes can be masculine and feminine. So anyway, this is one that you could certainly tap into as well, but you're going to choose one of them, and then you're going to develop that one fully and completely. And then there is some stuff, there are a couple of slides about how to develop your thesis statement. Please make sure that you review those slides and that you pay attention to developing an arguable thesis. You really want to make sure that your thesis can be supported with examples from the text and that it's an assertion. Assertions, guys, include 2 key components: an observation, which is just what happens in the text, and then an insight. How does that play out? What is arguable or what is defensible that you're going to talk about? So if you think about observation and insight as you're writing your essay, please know when we look at, I'm sorry, let me go back just one second to the slides because I want to project the timeline for your essay, just so you remember kind of what you're being held accountable for. So here are a couple, again, of things that you can use to help guide your thesis writing. But remember, we introduced our essay today. You will have time to continue to develop and work on your essay after you finish your exam on Tuesday. And then your essay is going to be due on Wednesday at 11:59 p.m., regardless of whether I see you Wednesday or Thursday. So I will see you guys in class on Thursday, but we will not work on your essay on Thursday. You will have already turned it in and we'll get started on poetry and Shakespeare, okay? In addition to that, there are a couple of review materials on Canvas that are just sort of helpful. Right now, your exam sits at 40 questions, multiple choice. The literary concepts that are covered, there's some conflict questions, some symbolism questions, and some characterization questions. And so know that those are things I want you to tap into and to review. And I will let you know, I'm going to send an announcement tomorrow or today, actually, whether or not you can use your book in the exam. I would just want to check with Ms. McMillan and Mrs. Plonsky before I give you that either okay or not so. Okay. All right. If you guys have questions, feel free to email me. I know it's a lot of videos today because I don't see you. So again, if you need something, email me. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend. Okay. Bye, guys.